weeks.
Trying to see if there's any other news that came out the last couple weeks that.
I know the Switch 2 reveal's coming up. More Xbox games on PlayStation. Didn't you post something funny? No, God, I did. Wonder Woman. Oh yeah, that's a cluster. WB in general, that's a cluster.
WB
that entire
ass.
WB topic is a cluster. Yeah.
Definitely.
Why I got so many notifications? What's going on, dude?
Let's see.
This means the animation on Invincible getting worse, not better.
Yeah, it was bad in season 2, and I've been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and block this brother now.
Who you blocking?
Sonny's friend Casey.
Oh yeah, that guy.
This dude just follows me around on every post, just constantly being annoying. I'm sorry, bro. It's over with.
I was following him until the whole he blocked me thing. Like, he unblocked me, but I didn't follow him again.
Yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good on, bro.
I don't want to deal with somebody who's gonna just kind of go off the handle on a reasonable take. Like, I'm not gonna lash out at the guy, but I'm good.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. Just not for me.
I see him sometimes on the timeline. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, he's just going nuts about something. I'm like, geez.
I'm trying to remember even what he blocked me for now. It was something about PS2.
Yeah, about that list of games that was exclusive.
Oh, right, exclusives. Yeah, because the PS5 list was kind of bullcrap compared to the PS2 list.
Yeah.
Especially, like, if you're not going to count games like Stellar Blade or Rise of the Ronin, then you can't count a whole bunch of stuff on the PS2 list.
I mean, I don't know for sure, but I would guess that the PS4 and maybe even the PS5 had more first-party exclusives than the PS2. First party.
PS2 bit was a third-party ass machine, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't know why these. I saw someone else that was like, I don't even know why I replied to it. It's just some random shit that showed up in my feed. But he was like, something about Rockstar supporting Switch 2, and he was like, man, if GTA, here it is. If GTA 6 comes to Switch, it's over for the other two. I'm like, bro, nobody's buying a Switch to play Grand Theft Auto. Like, I'm sorry, like, no one's doing that.
Absolutely.
Like,
they were still releasing. Sony was still publishing PS2 games until 2013.
Yeah.
I found a publishing page. The last game they published was Dawn 2 the game in India, and only in India.
Yeah, they're like that. They was making a game. I'm trying to remember what game they made. I think it was like a soccer game or something like that. It was like it came out around the PS4 launch. It was still a PS2 game.
Street Cricket Champions 2 in India in 2012. MLB The Show 11 got a PS2 release.
Why is Mars too good for us now? Why don't he come on here no more?
I don't know. I think I annoy him.
I don't know what Mars be doing, bro. I don't know why he don't like us.
The feeling is mutual.
I like Mars most of the time. There are times where he says something and I'm just like,
he's over here. He's gonna get into it with Aaron on in the spider lobby.
Yeah, the therapy thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even see that conversation, but hey, they got it.
I can understand if someone's like, therapy's not for me, but I think the way he phrased it was just bad.
Yeah.
Hey, but what y'all want to start with first, man? We can talk about whatever y'all want to talk about first.
Are we live now? Did you already start us?
We've been live about 15 minutes, man.
Dang it.
He always does this. He's trying to catch those conversations we think we're still safe talking about.
I ain't even say nothing.
Yeah.
Is PSN really down? Is that really down?
It is.
That's the reports. It was acting weird. I was on just before. I thought it was my internet because I was having like a tech issue with my computer, but it was unrelated.
Did you see?
It was just weird timing.
Damn.
Did you see Montoya's reaction?
Yeah.
To PSN going down. Apparently, it was from 2020 though. That sucks. That's got to suck to have that happen to you in 2020, and
now you got to relive it in front of everybody
in February of 5 years later. All of a sudden,
yeah, that's messed up.
It's going viral again. Like Jesus.
Did he go viral for something before? I don't recognize the name.
No, so it was some reality show where I guess they were couples that joined the reality show, but they're separated into different groups, and so they're supposed to resist like cheating on their spouse. And they never do. They made this man watch his girl just getting absolute hammered.
Bro ran across the beach. He was crying. I said, "God damn!"
It was crazy. He's sprinting down the beach. There's lightning going. The camera keeps cutting to this dude just like going in on his girl,
hammering her shit, bro. Like plastering her shit to the wall, bro. It was crazy.
He's on his knees screaming in the sky, man. I was like, that sucks.
That's fucked up. That's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing, man.
It's not funny. It's really not, but it is at the same time. Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, they put the PlayStation Network down over the TV, and they posted on the thing.
Oh my god! I wonder what they got going on. Why it's down? Like of all times, like shit, Friday night, yo, is down. That's nasty. That's exactly why I'm about to get my fucking Galaxy Xbox. Fuck Sony.
Damn.
About to get my Galaxy Xbox, man. So I can play some Avowed. Real games, man.
Real game. You ain't gonna play Avowed.
I am gonna play Avowed.
You ain't gonna play. You gonna play it for like 2 seconds and be like, "This ain't got no gameplay."
No, Avowed.
They made me read a paragraph.
No, Avowed got gameplay, man.
The cutscene at the start was 4 minutes long.
No, because I'm gonna skip the cutscenes. I'm not watching that.
He said it took too long to make my character.
I'm making my character, and then I'm getting to the open world. I'm not watching no cutscene. What is this?
She said it's an open zone game. Actually, it's gonna be like Outer Worlds, where you go to each area, but it's not connected.
Yeah, that's cool with me.
That's fine. I don't need radiant quest lines that pop up the same and you just go to a different cave, and I don't need 120 hours of padding.
We'll see how Avowed turns out performance wise, but yeah, I think in general that's why, something like Pokemon Legends Arceus ran a lot better than Scarlet and Violet because it didn't have to. You only had to load the area you were in. So. So what do we got? PlayStation Network's down.
You want us to start with WB and spend half an hour talking about how bad that company has gotten?
Spend half the show talking about WB.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. And it's funny because you look at some of the companies. You look at like Embracer Group. You look at EA at times. You're like, man, I can't imagine how a company gets that bad. And then WB is like, challenge accepted. And then they do all this crap. Like they had the best-selling game of last year. Like Hogwarts Legacy has exceeded like 30 million units sold, and they're already giving quotes. They're like, you know what? I think Hogwarts Legacy 2 needs to be a live service game.
When did Hogwarts Legacy come out, bro? Was it 2021 or 2020?
It was early last year, I thought.
2023.
Okay, well, it was the highest selling game of whatever year it came out.
Okay, 2023. I don't know why I feel like that game was like 2022 or something, but yeah, 2023.
Yeah, it's on its
because time since COVID has no meaning.
It's on it. They just had their second anniversary. So
yeah, and it's like it was a legitimate hit, like critical, commercial, everything you want out of a game. And so to then have quotes like, "Oh yeah, I think we're gonna make the sequel a live service game." Like you,
they literally took Quidditch out of the game to try to sell it.
I think that's kind of the point I made at the end of 2023, though, was that everyone was talking about like, man, this is crazy. Hogwarts Legacy outsold Call of Duty. And I was like, okay, it may have sold more copies than Call of Duty, but it didn't make more money than Call of Duty.
Right.
because like Call of Duty has the microtransactions, Warzone live service. It doesn't have licensing for Harry Potter, which I don't know how much of that actually matters for WB. But I'm sure JK gets some
Yep.
royalties. I think WB actually owns the entertainment license, maybe. I don't know, but like
something like that. But
like
even if it didn't make Call of Duty money, though, like
right. But I'm saying
any
like
company would be happy to make whatever money it made off of 30 million copies.
Mm-hmm.
But just kind of like that's the thing. But look, okay, I just saw a tweet out the earlier. Red Dead 2 had sold 70 million copies to date. They didn't do nothing of that game after it came out. They stopped.
Yeah, they abandoned Red Dead Online for GTA.
So I mean, like 70 million means nothing to these companies. 30 million means nothing to WB. They want that Fortnite, Madden money, and
they'll lose hundreds of million dollars chasing it, like they did with Suicide Squad. And apparently, it wasn't. So we have the debacle now with Wonder Woman that apparently restarted development in 2024. Years away, probably won't be this generation. Spider was replying to me earlier on Twitter about it. Like, so it may not come out this generation. Whenever it does come out, you're going to see the same dance where they're like, oh, it didn't hit financial projections. Okay, well, maybe if you didn't restart development and make it a 12-year development cycle, you wouldn't have to have had projected as high. Like,
well,
and apparently there was a Flash game in production, there was a Flash game in the works, but it got scrapped after the movie, and there was a Constantine game that was also pitched but never approved. Like, they have DC licenses, and they can't do crap with it besides Batman.
Yeah. Well, and I wouldn't be surprised if Wonder Woman was being made as a live service game, and then they rebooted it because of Kill the Justice League and whatnot failing. So, I mean, it could be a good thing in the end, maybe, but I mean, Veilguard got rebooted from a live service to a regular game, and it obviously didn't sell well enough. So I guess we'll just have to see. But I mean, I think, I don't know, like, I guess you could look at it, but I always like the idea of the Wonder Woman game with the Nemesis system and whatnot. So I mean,
it feels like if you make a compelling and exciting combat loop for Wonder Woman, which that shouldn't be that hard,
right?
If you have that with the Nemesis system and whatever setting you want to do, you could do multiple armies from multiple baddies. I don't know how you like.
Yeah, and you could do the moment to moment combat could be similar to Shadow of Mordor because she uses a sword. You could probably give her a ranged weapon. You probably want a little bit more like
mechanics.
Yeah, you'd probably want it to be a little heavier because she's a lot stronger, like physically stronger. But you have the basis there for it, and they just want to chase like. The biggest thing is just like, and if you're gonna do a live service game, you need a studio that knows how to make a good multiplayer game, like either co-op like Helldivers or, a hero shooter like Marvel Rivals. You can't do a AAA production budget game and try to make it live service. It's never gonna work. Like that's exactly that was part of Concord's problem. Like that budget was way too big for a game that needs to make money long term. Like it needs to run well and everything. It needs to, a lot of those games have simple art styles, and like Marvel Rivals isn't going to win any graphics awards, but it looks great. It looks pretty good.
And that's another where art trumps graphics in a lot of ways. Marvel Rivals, because priority has to be performance.
Yeah,
like you're not going for high level graphical fidelity. Like you can see the hairs, like individual hairs or anything crazy. Right. But everyone loves the designs in Marvel Rivals. Like the only complaints I've ever heard are from the typical people. It's like, oh, why aren't there any fat people? Like that's like really the only complaint I've seen. Like,
yeah. So I don't know. WB's in a mess, but
movie wise and video game wise, like they make so many dumb decisions.
I don't know. I think the Superman movie is going to be good. I think it's going to be good.
I think I'm okay with the DC stuff, but I mean, like when I think of the movies, I think of David Zaslav, the CEO, and like the repeated projects that he's scrapped for tax purposes, like Acme versus Wiley. What is it? Acme versus
Batwoman.
Batwoman. Yeah, where you have a fully done movie that
movie
has
was
screens for
done.
people,
Yeah.
and they just vault it forever for a tax write-off, which that's a dumb tax write-off.
They could at least put it on HBO Max or something. Like.
Yeah, and so like those are what he's doing, and so they might have some good movies on occasion. Don't get me wrong, but as a company, the movie and the video game areas, they're clearly just so wrongly prioritized in what they're trying to do. They're trying to maximize every dollar, which don't get me wrong, I understand companies want to make money. I just wish they would take the approach of making money through quality games, quality movies, as opposed to trying to set up this, financial system where, they want 100 million people playing a video game and putting $5 in a month or something stupid. Make a good game. It'll sell, as it clearly did with Hogwarts.
I'm starting to question whether they have the talent or not, honestly. Because if we just look at what they've done since Hogwarts, we look at Gotham Knights. It wasn't a bad game, but I mean,
that was another one that started as a live service game and got retooled.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad game, but it didn't set the world on fire. You look at Suicide Squad. To me, it wasn't a bad game, but it was bad mistakes. You look at Mortal Kombat 1. Most people call it the worst Mortal Kombat of all of the new 3D ones. So it's just like, did the talent fall off from WB? Are they still capable of making great things? We even look at Arkham Knight. I think people universally agree it's the worst Batman game. I mean, it's been a long time, for WB, really.
I think Arkham Knight is overhated, personally. I actually think it's my favorite of the Arkham series,
crazy.
But I know what you're saying. Most people hate it because of the Batmobile, though.
It's called Batmobile Arkham Knight. That's what I call it.
Well, and because they also didn't like before the game came out when the developers were like, oh yeah, it's not Jason Todd. Oh, yeah. Like if you took out a couple of those things, like I feel like the game itself, like the stuff with because I just replayed it this year, the stuff with Scarecrow, that was John Noble voicing Scarecrow is still, in my opinion, one of the best voice acting jobs anyone has ever done in a video game.
You can argue Scarecrow was the best villain throughout the whole Arkham trilogy, though.
That you're not
in
wrong.
Every game.
So here's to your point. Okay, I'm gonna list off all the games since I'm gonna go to Mortal Kombat 1 and since. No, Hogwarts Legacy.
Since Hogwarts Legacy, everything after Hogwarts.
Okay, so Hogwarts. So the reason I looked back a little bit. So Lego: The Star Wars Skywalker Saga came out April 5th, 2022. That was decently well received. Lego games just do well. Yeah. Then you had Gotham Knights in October, Hogwarts Legacy February of 2023.
Do they own the studio that made Hogwarts Legacy?
Avalanche Software, I think so. Let me look. They are a subsidiary of Warner Brothers. Yes, they got sold from. Okay. They got sold from Disney Interactive to Warner Brothers in 2016. Oh. All right, so Hogwarts Legacy. Then you had, I'm skipping mobile stuff, Mortal Kombat 1. Mm-hmm. Then they had some ports like Hogwarts Legacy and the Arkham games to the Switch. Yeah. Arkham. And they've not had a lot. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, Multiverses, which is getting
done,
which is ending.
Done.
It's dead. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions. That's the stuff they removed. Batman Arkham Shadow, the VR game, is supposed to be really good, but it's a VR game. Yeah. Like, congratulations to the 5 people who played it. I've heard nothing but good from those 5 people. And that's it. The last game they released was Batman Arkham Shadow in October 2024.
So they basically released Hogwarts Legacy, and they ain't done shit right since. Outside of the smaller stuff, like the VR, probably some mobile stuff works for them.
Yeah, like Mortal Kombat Onslaught was mobile. Or there was some other mobile thing I saw. Oh, it was like a Hogwarts Magic Awakened mobile game, something. And the only other game listed is Wonder Woman from Monolith Studio Productions with TBA across the board.
So do they have the talent at this point? Like, what is going on? Like, I'm not understanding how they just can't get nothing right at this point.
I mean, I don't think it really. It's kind of the same thing where, like people circling the guy that was a writer for Veilguard. he's now over at some other studio. I forget which one it is, and everyone's like
doing that.
Yeah, and they're like, oh well, because this guy worked on Veilguard, that means Yotei's gonna suck. And it's like, dude, like there's so many aspects of the development of Veilguard that caused it to turn out the way that it did. Yeah, like to just blanketly blame the writers or this and that, like, come on, man. Like that game was designed. They
wasn't it the head person?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I think I'm getting mixed up.
the publisher got just as fucking involved in the failure of that game as any person that actually worked on it. If anything, we should be praising the developers for it coming out as good as it fucking did, given the circumstances of what the publisher put them through. Like, so I mean, like, that's my thing with it. I think, I mean, I don't know about Mortal Kombat. Like,
well, BioWare, I think, is actually a really good comparison too, because he's talking about do they still have talent at WB? I don't know in terms of who's left, but like BioWare, pretty much over the last 10 years, especially during like Anthem, was a mass exodus of talent away from the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that to bash BioWare, but so it could be that since Shadow of War, since Arkham Knight, a lot of people might have left the studios because of the push for live service. Like, apparently that's a trend that you're seeing all over the place, is you have these talented, long-tenured developers who, when studios start meddling and pushing this live service crap, that they go off and they do their own thing. Like, there's a game coming from a lot of Mass Effect
it already came out.
tenured people. I think it's called Exodus.
Oh, yeah, that. I thought you were talking about Eternal Strands. It came out last month.
That's that sci-fi shooter, right? Exodus?
Yeah, it's not out yet. I don't know when it's supposed to be out. But so they're like, I know some people are excited for that because of the talent connected. And so I do think you're seeing, and this is, going back to the conversation you and I had online earlier, like, people underestimate how many video games are coming out all the time. Video games as a job, yes, it's nice to work for the bigger companies, but there's so many studios making video games at any given time that a lot of times people leave these larger companies because they just get tired and burn out of the bad practices and go to these little studios where you see these crazy games come out later and you're like, damn.
And there's also no guarantees too. Like, I get being hopeful that a game from the people, like, I mean, like, because like I don't think there's any long running studio that's the same people. Obviously, like Insomniac, Halo, Naughty Dog, Bungie, BioWare, they've all got vastly new teams than they had when they were founded. Obviously.
Well, but like Insomniac, they just had the CEO retire.
Right.
After like 20, 30 years. So the solid leadership, I think, matters. Like Nintendo, you still have the long-term Nintendo guys who they're done probably, Switch 2 is probably the last generation where they'll oversee everything. And I think that stability matters. Like, it may not be individuals, right? But the core leadership being stable, I think, really helps.
So, I mean, that's the thing, I think, is like, with talent or whatever. I mean, I think for the Wonder Woman game, we don't really know. I don't even know what was the last game that studio released.
Shadow of War, I think it was.
Was it Shadow of War? Shadow of Mordor? Was the last game?
Was that Monolith?
Yeah,
Monolith Soft.
Have they done anything since Shadow of War, or was that the last game?
They're the ones making Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but what's the last game they put out? Was it Shadow of War?
Yeah, Shadow of War.
That's
They've been working on
horrible.
Wonder Woman for a long time.
Say they haven't put out a game since the early last gen or middle of last gen.
That was 2017. So middle. Okay. Yeah.
Bro, almost a decade later, they don't have nothing to show for it, bro.
Yeah.
WB is trash, bro, at managing studios, bro. They suck, bro.
So I mean, that's my thing. It's like we don't really know. I mean, I think the sequel to Shadow, the sequel to Mordor, wasn't as well received.
Nope.
Because I think a lot of people felt like it's like
it
was the loot box stuff they put in there.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't really anything left to tell with that story either. They just kind of forced it in.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but as far as like other studios, I mean, I think it's fair to wonder how like the story, characters, and writing are going to come out in the next Mass Effect.
Hold on, the WB got the Lord of the Rings license too, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So do they get blamed for that? What's that game? That Schmeagol game that came out?
That might have been licensed through the books.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. The licensing for Lord of the Rings is weird. It's not always. It's not
if
owned
it's
by
licensed
one
off
person.
the movies, it's WB. That Gollum one might have been licensed off the books, because there was like back when the original Xbox, there was like a Fellowship of the Ring game that came out that was licensed off the books.
Fire.
Nope, opposite. It was trash.
No, that game was fire. It was published by EA. It was a hack and slash game. I had it.
No, you might be thinking the movie one.
Oh yeah, you're right.
No, those were good. There was a book one.
Yeah, you're right. I got it confused. You're right.
Yeah.
Whatever that game published by EA was back on PS2 and Xbox, that motherfucker was hot.
So I mean, we'll just have to see when these games come out. But I mean, or if they come out, I don't know that it's guaranteed that Mass Effect comes out. Wonder Woman definitely looks like it's in danger of not hitting the market.
It's in limbo, man. I mean, listen, I hope that it could be ready by the launch of, the next systems. 2026 and 2027 does not sound likely at all, based on what we know. But I mean, it would be nice if they was launched for the next systems, and that I think that'd be a good title. Cause listen, be real, you mix Shadow of Mordor, copy and paste Wonder Woman, it should be a no brainer. It should clearly be a no brainer. But the thing about it is, when you got that WB CEO up there wanting to turn everything into a live service jackpot, it ain't gonna work. So we just gotta see on WB, man. I don't know, man.
I'm curious what developers they actually have.
And what are they doing with NetherRealm?
So,
where's Injustice at, bro? Like, what are we doing, man?
So
I don't think it's ever sold as well as Mortal Kombat. So I think they were supposed to do. Yeah, Injustice hasn't sold as well as Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat is the one right there.
So I mean, like I think if it was going in the same like order that they were going, where it was like, I think it was Mortal Kombat 9, and then Injustice 1 came out.
Yeah.
And then
MKX.
Then Mortal Kombat X, and then Injustice 2, and then we got Mortal Kombat 11. The next game would have been, I'm not gonna say supposed to, it would have been Injustice 3, but they made Mortal Kombat 1 instead.
But we should have knew something was wrong when Ed Boon was talking about the next game he wanted to do was Avengers versus X-Men. Because at that point, I should have been thinking like, okay, Injustice 3 should obviously, like, that should be a no-brainer to be the next game, right? So why is he sitting up here saying that he wants to work on X-Men versus Avengers next? Like, that only really makes sense to me when you got Injustice. So, but now we see that maybe WB just don't have no faith in Injustice at this point.
I mean, a Marvel MK style fighter would be pretty cool, I think. So
yeah, it would be phenomenal. But it's just like if Injustice was the plan, why are he talking about that? But so now we know it's not the plan.
It'd be kind of weird if WB, they own Disney or they own DC, licensed out Marvel to make a fighting game. I don't know if that would ever happen. So
yeah, I think it's fair to say they have talented studios. Well, they have historically talented studios like Avalanche, Monolith, Portkey Games that made Harry Potter, Hogwarts Legacy. They did really well. I don't know, man.
I mean, like I said, I think a lot of it is just publishers
meddling.
Trying to meddle and force them into things. And like look, I get it to an extent, right? Like they're the ones footing the payroll and the money, and they want to see a return on it. Capitalism, but they should probably trust their studios more to actually, put out a product that will also sell. So I mean, but
apparently they own Hitman.
But in our society, it's not enough.
Oh, this man botting. What's this man botting?
It's not enough just to sell well, right? Like I said, like it has to sell better. They have to make more money than they made last year in profit, because shareholders are useless. Don't do anything.
That's why we're gonna see a Harry Potter 2 before we see Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think that's
and even that. Harry Potter 2 is going to be live service, so it might go through a similar thing where they're like, "Oh man, this is a terrible idea," and restart development after 4 years of work.
It's two different studios too, so it's not like they're pausing one to work on the other. I mean, I think what like things you can do to sell more copies of a game. I mean, like, okay, Hogwarts Legacy 2, it doesn't need to be live service, but add co-op. Like, you and a friend can go to Hogwarts together and play through the story. Like, that would be something you could do instead.
That's a no-brainer, bro. That should be a no-brainer. Yo, get Terry Rosie off my fucking team, yo, please, yo. Get him off my team.
That was my one hope. Okay, I know this is an aside. That was my one hope for the trade deadline. Like, obviously Jimmy was going to go somewhere, but man, I was like, please just send Rozier somewhere. I don't care. Send him away for a second-round pick. Send him to Chicago for Lonzo Ball. Like, that'd be
Bro,
great.
he
for
just
us.
came down and did a step back 3 in traffic. If I see him shoot another fucking step back 3, I'm gonna lose my mind, yo. All right, what's next? We done with WB? They cook.
Yeah.
What's next?
Oh, it's funny we're bagging on him when he's actually like. I'm sure that shot was terrible, but this is actually a very good game for him right now.
What are you shooting right now?
5 of 8 overall, has 17 points on 5 of 8, 3 of 5 from 3, 4 of 5 from free throw. Like, that's actually.
I bet you his plus
really
minus is ass. Because we was up by 10 before he came in the game.
Yep, he has a plus minus of -1.
Exactly. We was up by 10 before he got in the game. He come in the game, shoot all them dumbass shots, even when they falling. It fucks up the offense, bro. I'm tired of him.
Yep.
Pat
Dude,
Riley,
I can't wait for Wiggins.
Yes.
I can't wait for Wiggins to be in, and maybe we'll use Kyle Anderson as more of a creator than DeRozier.
Anybody but Rozier, please, man. It is not worth it.
Sorry, we hijacked that for basketball.
Yeah, we did. This dude pissing me off, bro. So if y'all see me making faces, because I'm watching the game right now.
Damn.
Fucking terrible. He's a terrorist.
Okay, next up was Resistance 4.
Oh yeah, Resistance 4.
Reports were that their Resistance 4 was pitched, but Sony chose not to pursue that, and so that would have been shortly after Resistance 3.
My only thing about that is a lot of people are saying, and like I agree to an extent, it's probably why Sony decided not to, is that Resistance wasn't a very big seller, but neither was Ratchet and Clank, and they greenlit that for the early PS5 gen. And so, I mean, and sure, I'm from what I understand, Ratchet and Clank was profitable, but like, you don't think that Insomniac can't make a profitable Resistance game as well? Like, it couldn't be a similar budget to Ratchet, you know?
Ratchet and Clank is also probably the oldest still running franchise Sony oversees too.
Yeah.
I mean, because like Jak and Daxter, Crash, none of those are still. So like they've had franchises that's been going on since PS2 era. They even tried to make a movie out of it. So there's clearly just more IP confidence, I would say. That's a big part of it. Like,
that's because it's cartoony. They feel like maybe it has a chance with kids at some point, but it hasn't been working out that way.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I'm just saying, like, sales wise, I feel like, I mean, it's Insomniac, right? Like current Insomniac has a pretty good track record. I think Spider-Man 2 was probably a low point for them as far as like quality.
I mean, Ratchet and Clank has sold over 7. The PS4 one sold over 7 million copies.
Okay,
which is like the entire Resistance franchise.
Right. Yeah.
So right. I liked Resistance. Don't get me wrong, but the PS3 era was also Sony's worst era. So, and I think that's why like some of the franchises that debuted in that, kind of like Infamous, really didn't get much of a run. It got a third game on the PS4. We haven't seen Infamous, Resistance. Like I feel like those games, Sony took the long-standing ones, but they kind of like PS3 is kind of the redheaded stepchild now, the Sony history. So it doesn't shock me there. And quite frankly, hindsight being what it is, it's also how we got Spider-Man. Like Insomniac getting Spider-Man and putting that game out in 2018, that sold how many tens of millions of copies? Like
over 20.
22, I think, 22 million. But then, like, you know, Spider-Man 2, I think, it's only sold 11 last time we heard. I mean, it's probably more than that now. But
I mean, that was late 2023, so it's not even been 2 full years.
Yeah,
no, not yet.
Now the budget was much bigger, so I understand that they want more.
Yeah.
But if you told, again, this is where I just feel like reasonable expectations should be held. If you told anyone this game is going to sell 11 million copies in 18 months. Done.
But at the end of the day, and I'm not saying that it wasn't profitable. It likely was. I'm just saying, like, they still have to go, this is what we paid these people during the production, which is most of the budget. This is what we paid in marketing. This is what we paid in producing the discs and blah blah blah, whatever. And so there's just a hard, we have to make this much to break even, and we expect this much more to please the shareholders. And, you know, maybe it didn't do that. Maybe it didn't get that high.
Well, I think part of me wonders if, I would draw the comparison to Nintendo on some of this stuff, just because, like, I think part of the reason Nintendo does so well is they manage their budget. So Spider-Man 1 was like $200 million. Spider-Man 2 was like $500 million to make, something silly.
Well, and I mean, at the end of the day, though, Nintendo wouldn't have been able to make that game for less money. Like
No, but I'm saying but they chose not to chase that. Is my point.
right,
Like,
of course.
so they make these games that are profitable if they sell 1 million copies,
Right.
and they make a bunch of them. Now, obviously, I like the big budget titles. Don't get me wrong. But I still do question, like, did Spider-Man 2 need to have 3 times the budget of Spider-Man 1? Like, there's probably ways they could have kept that a little under control. Like, I do feel like some of these budget numbers we hear for these games are a little past.
Well, you have to remember too, though. It's like, you know, how much did wages increase over the course of those 5 years? How much did costs in general increase for the studio? How much did the Marvel license cost them this time versus last time if they had to renegotiate it? I mean, there's a lot of economic things that have happened in the last 4 or 5, 6 years, right? So I mean, it's hard to say really what the budgets of these games, because I mean, there's also like Nintendo can get away with it because like even the Switch 2 isn't going to be like this top of the line. Like I think it'll be one of their most capable consoles ever. Like it's going to have modern features that will let it play more third-party games without as much finagling. But you know, Nintendo's never going to make a Mario game that looks like The Last of Us 2, so they don't have to worry about budgets because those kind of games don't, you know, require the most modern tech and the most modern engines and the most and 500 developers to make a game.
I feel like Spider-Man is actually a really good example of a game that also doesn't need. It doesn't need to be The Last of Us 2 in graphical fidelity.
For the PlayStation fan base, yeah, it does. I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's different expectations.
If you iterate off of 2018, I'm just saying, if you iterate off of 2018.
Well, and that's the thing too, is like, even though Insomniac added a whole extra ass island, like you basically doubled the map size, right? Of the first game, people were still like, "Oh, they're reusing shit from the first game." Like, I mean, the sequel had to be bigger and better to sell to people, and then it didn't sell as well. But like, you know, or that's yet to be determined. But I'm just saying, like they had to make it bigger and better to market it, right? Like that's kind of like the expectation from the consumer that they're going to get more than they got last time.
I looked it up. The first one was like 90 million. The second one's like 315 million. So that's why I'm just like, I understand that things got more expensive in that time, but from 2018 to 2023, 3 times as expensive. Like this is why like Suicide Squad, you know, they reported they lost like 200 million or something off of that. Like partially because you let the budget get too high, like movie budgets. You see the same thing. Like these movies come out, they don't make money because you need to make $800 million worldwide to break even.
Yeah. Well, I do wonder how they delineate.
They outsourced a bunch of it. It was what the high cost was, if I remember from the leaks.
Well, typically, if you outsource, that
saved
saves
the money.
You money. Yeah, I don't want to pay the American developer $80 an hour, so I'm going to pay the Filipino developer $20.
Right. Yeah. Usually that
we saw it in the leaks. That's what it was. A lot of it was outsourcing for crunch time because they got the game out quicker than normal.
Oh, you're not. I'm sorry. You're not referring to outsourcing. Then you're referring to contractors.
My bad, yeah.
Sorry. When you say outsourcing, that's more of a reference to like domestic jobs being done by overseas workers for far less money. Contractors are not real employees. Essentially, they get contracted for the crunch. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was meaning outsourcing from the developer themselves, like to another developer or independent contractors and such. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking over 3 times the budget. I just have questions. This is why I think some of this is gaming expectations. I do think gamers have gotten. You see it a lot with like this generation. You know, they look at like PS2 to PS3, like, man, how is it graphics jumped from PS2 to PS3? But you know, when I get PS5, it doesn't look any better than a PS4. Like, the human eye can only see so much, right? Like, we've added a level of detail in terms of textures and geometry that you can't get much better on. Like, we will see better things, but Red Dead on PS4, you're not getting much better in a console jump.
Yeah, we saw 360 to Gen 6 to 7 or 7 to 8,
I
whichever.
can't keep up with the numbers. I don't know what the numbers are.
The PS3's 360 to Xbox One, PS4 was the last time we saw like a noticeable jump in like visual fidelity and like character models and environments and stuff. But what we're seeing now is the lighting and stuff like that is what really is the bigger things. I mean, this generation to me was marked by the final adoption of SSDs in consoles. Like, I mean, we used to send text messages and check your Twitter while Witcher 3 took a minute and a half to load, you know, but now you can't even do that. You got to actually play the game. You can't get on your phone while you're waiting for the load screen. So
my hope for this generation, funny enough, was AI. Not generative AI, but like actual AI in the games, like enemy AI, partner AI, and instead we've got some of the dumbest AI in the planet in some of these games. I played Indiana Jones.
I don't
liked
think they'll
Indiana
ever
Jones.
be able to fix that, to be honest. They've been working on that shit forever.
Yeah, some of it's, I'll be honest, some of it is just they don't dedicate the resources. Like, honestly, the application of generative AI could be an enemy AI. Like, that's where those leaps can actually be found in a good way, that you save someone having to code a million lines of codes of if-then statements, whatever.
That's why, like, one of the reasons why I think, things like DLSS and stuff on the hardware upscaling is cool, because I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, people use it as like a boogeyman thing, like, oh, they're hiding bad performance with DLSS. And it's like, I'm sorry, like, no game has ever had bad performance hidden by DLSS. It just runs bad with DLSS. Like, my opinion is you don't have to then, if you have a good enough AI hardware upscaler, you don't have to spend time, tweaking the game to run at high resolutions. You can just let it run. You can make it run really well at 1080p and then let DLSS upscale it to 4K and it'll look great. If you tune it properly, and they could spend more time on other things like, the environment or the physics or the story or whatever. And like, I know these are all different things. Like, it's not like the guys doing this or doing, writers aren't doing that and then going and writing the game, but they can allocate their budget better is what I mean. So, like, that's kind of how I feel like they should be using the AI in the consoles, which I don't think the current consoles have hardware. They might, but I know something AMD's looking to do.
I think you're right overall. Again, and I think it goes back to on this one that where gamers have to set realistic expectations, because like, say they did that more frequently, and there's, I think, reports that Switch 2 is going to use some of that. But you're going to see like Digital Foundry videos come out where they're like, oh, you can tell this is upscaling if you zoom real close to this screenshot of this part of this game. And not to hate on Digital Foundry, but the people who follow them, some of their more rabid fans get that granular, and I'm just like, look, man, these glasses are not for show. Like, my vision's not the best anyway, so I'm not going to probably be able to tell if it's upscaled.
Yeah.
Like, just give me a fun game that looks good.
And definitely not the average console gamer that's sitting 6 feet from their TV. Like, I mean, I'm sitting like arm's length from my fucking monitor. Like, I can see, but I mean, like, I just think like, and then going back to like Nintendo, right? Like, I mean, they can create a fuck ton of games and then just not even release them. They can just be like, damn, we're kind of light this year. Pull some shit out the vault, throw some shit out there this year, like I bet Echoes of Wisdom was done like 4 years ago and they were like, yeah, we're going to put it in here.
I wouldn't be surprised if stuff like the
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Xenoblade Chronicles X. There we go. Stuff like that. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, because nobody can convince me that Princess Peach Showdown is not a Wii U game.
Like they had every
Aaron will find you. She loves that game.
They had every Wii U Deluxe game was made.
I swear to God. I swear this is the Wii U generation.
They were just like, we're gonna release them these years. Like,
well, they're ready already. The Wii U only sold like 10 million units. It makes sense to you.
That's their fault for telling people it wasn't a controller.
I'm guilty.
I'm saying.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying,
like Mario Kart. What are we on? Mario Kart 8? Is that the one that came with the Switch now?
I don't know.
Like, Mario Kart 8, which was the Wii U version, is now one of the highest selling games of all time, and it wouldn't have been if it had been left on the Wii U. Is all I'm saying.
Did Donkey Kong come out yet?
I understand that. March? Isn't it March?
It's March?
I don't know, man. You're a Donkey Kong fan.
No, it's already out. I got it.
It's already out. It came out in January.
You got it.
Okay,
Why
I
don't
don't
hear nobody
know.
talking about this? What happened? Did it flop or something? What's going on?
Donkey Kong Country HD returns or whatever.
I didn't hear nobody talking about it. Were people playing it or not?
Hell no.
I ain't playing it. My wife's playing it.
You know, there's not like a big conference of Switch owners where we get together and discuss this stuff, right?
I haven't seen nobody even post about it.
It
No,
got
no
89
picture.
critic reviews at
Of
an average of
course.
77.
Of
77.
course. I'm not surprised. It's Nintendo.
That's higher than I expected, to be honest.
What's the worst Nintendo game, and what's the review aggregate? I mean, they're never gonna have a game that's gonna review bad.
They've had their games review bad.
Like what?
Let me look. I gotta find it.
I bet you ain't none of them Pokemon games reviewed bad.
We're not main series, but absolutely some of the side stuff has.
What's the worst first-party Switch game? It's got to be like 1-2 Switch or something, right?
No, 1-2 Switch
might-
got to at least be a 75 or something. That game actually wasn't
Nintendo-
bad. I had that at launch. It was actually pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Nintendo Let's see. Nintendo Metacritic from 2017 to now. Let's see.
1-2
We're gonna
Switch
go
was
by-
Man, the
fire.
Switch has a lot of good games. When I'm
God,
looking at this list,
there's 83 fucking pages on here. What the fuck? This is just every Nintendo Switch game. This isn't published by Nintendo. What the
Yeah.
fuck, bro?
let's see. Switch came out in 2017. Metacritic needs more.
Here we go.
They need more search stuff. Let's see. 1-2 Switch was a 58 Metacritic score.
Damn, a
There
58?
you go.
Well, that ain't no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
That was a first-party Nintendo.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's not really a
That's
game, but you know,
That's
we
the
can
game.
agree.
The major problem with that is they should have just packaged it with
Yeah,
the
it
Switch
should have
from
been
day one.
like a tech demo.
And that's part of why it got reviewed so poorly. That's what every reviewer said.
That's crazy.
Let's see. Gosh, there's so many games they released
Did they
on
have
Switch,
what,
man.
what about that Mario game? That Mario game review bad? The Mario and Luigi game, the most recent one?
I don't think it reviewed bad.
'Cause
I
I
think it
seen
reviewed bad
a-
for the series, Brothership.
Oh, Brothership, yeah.
I
That
think Brother was in like 70.
77. They got a
See,
77
didn't I just
on
tell you the
Metacritic.
worst reviewing Nintendo game gonna be like a 77?
Princess Peach was 74.
Okay.
1-2 Switch already established.
That's
In the
because
50s.
we know we gotta put an asterisk next to that though. But okay, so Princess Peach 74. Okay, that's
Marvel
You
something.
know,
Also,
1-2 Switch got a sequel, right?
Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was a 73.
What?
So
How the fuck is that game a 73?
The 1-2 Switch sequel was a 54.
They had a sequel.
called
That game had a
Everybody
sequel.
1-2 Switch.
What the
when
fuck?
did they get a sequel?
It got a sequel. It's called Everybody 1-2 Switch.
What?
Damn, even
Sounds
even
bad.
That's
even
horrible.
Arms even Arms got a 77.
So look now, listen. Now ain't nobody finna sit up here. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was the game I had the most time on my Switch. Ain't nobody finna sit up here and tell me
I love
Arms
that
was
game.
better than that. You're not
I
finna
love
tell me
that game.
Arms is better
Mario
than.
Strikers got a 73. They published DC Superhero Girls Teen Power. Okay.
Yes, it's a Switch exclusive, and I wanted to play that game too.
Did you want to play it like you wanted to play the Funko Pop game? Because you have some impulses, I question.
No, listen. See, I'm gonna say this. They came out with a DC game. I can't remember the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. It was a DC game, but it played like Diablo, and I brought that game.
Look, and Gutter be tripping me out. He'll come on.
I had it on
He'll be
Series
on-
X.
He'll be on Twitter telling me some game that most people think is good is trash, and then the next post I see is him hyping up some game about a raccoon riding a surfboard or something. Like, it's like
Mario
I'm
Golf.
telling you. I'm telling you.
Mario Golf Super Rush, that got a 70.
I ain't never even heard of that game, but that's a set for a 70.
Mario
that's crazy.
Golf. Mario Golf.
No, I'm saying I didn't know they had one on Switch.
Yeah, they have made, dude, the list of games they have published on Switch is actually ridiculous. Like, I am stunned at how many titles there are. And I think it's missing some because I didn't see like Luigi's Mansion 2,
I gotta
and that got a
find-
re-release.
That's what I should play
Yeah,
tonight. Luigi's Mansion on my PC. I still ain't played that game yet.
Oh, look, a Donkey Kong game released in 2018, the last time Donkey Kong was relevant.
What is that, Tropical Freeze?
It is.
Oh, my God. That game, by all accounts, is amazing. One of the
now,
greatest
are we
Donkey
saying
Kong
all
games.
time in terms of Nintendo and Metacritic?
No. I just wanted to know about the Switch. We know Nintendo has had some misses. They put out some systems that were just bad, and they've had games that were just flat out bad.
They're missing some of the spin-off games for Pokemon on the Switch because I'm just seeing oh, there we go, Mystery Dungeon. I was trying to find that because I think that didn't review great.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about right here with him. This is what I'm talking about.
69. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon got a 69.
Look at my shared screen right now. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about with Gutter right now.
I need to try it. He did hype that game.
This is what I'm talking about with him, bro. He'll be like,
it could be good.
No, Gory. Y'all, I'm not even gonna talk about the game until you play it. I don't even want to talk about it.
He'll be like,
go play the demo. Go play the demo right now. Don't say nothing else to me. That game is fucking.
PlayStation Network now.
No, it's on Steam too.
Oh, Gory's a 78 on Metacritic.
It's a what?
It's a 78 on. Now it's only 12 reviews, but it's a 78 on Metacritic, 7.5.
If it's a 78, listen. If it's a 78 with 12 reviews, you know it's higher than that. So that's all you need to know. Go play the demo. That game is amazing.
I'm just saying. He'll be on there talking about some. Baldur's Gate 3 has trash gameplay, and then
I never said that about Baldur's Gate. Listen, don't lie on me. Don't lie on me.
Dragon's Dogma all day.
Dragon's Dogma, yeah.
Dragon's Dogma is trash.
He was on he was on Twitter the other day.
But here's the thing. But you want to know the difference? Listen, here's the difference, and you just said it. I beat Dragon's Dogma. I beat that game. Can any of you say, well, you know what? I at least played an hour of Gory. I played an hour of fucking Squirrel with the Gun. I played
an hour of it.
See, that's all I'm saying. I played the game.
Wait, but on the flip side, you refuse to take my perception of Shadow of the Erd Tree, a game that I have put 60 hours into, and you have put 0.
What's your perception of?
Damn.
No, we were arguing on Twitter, and you told me I'm too biased to have an opinion on this.
You talking about a DLC, bro? You talking about a DLC?
Yeah, but you haven't played it.
I played the game. I don't need to play the DLC to know that it plays like the game. The gameplay is not gonna be drastically different just because it's DLC.
It's not.
The only thing that's gonna change is the content.
But your complaints weren't the gameplay. Your complaints were stuff that you have to play the DLC to actually complain.
My complaints was the content. I didn't complain about the gameplay of it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You were complaining about content you hadn't played.
But I've seen it.
A lot of repetitive bosses.
I've watched a full playthrough of it because I'm not playing that game again. I played the game though.
You're talking about can't bash Gory without playing it, which I think is fair. Yeah. But you're bashing content you haven't played as well. That's why
DLC. You can't use a DLC.
I'm not saying that Gory is bad. I'm just saying it'd be tripping me out.
And then I didn't say it was the greatest game of the generation. I said it's one of the most fun and unique. That also check the verbiage. I said it's one of the most fun and unique game of the generation.
I bet you I'm gonna find. Sonny put a 0 review in for Gory.
Go ahead.
No, I don't even have an Metacritic.
There's a 0 user review from Sonny Slim on Gory and all that.
It'd be funny. Be like, this one's for Gutter. 0 out of 10.
Go ahead. That game is.
I'm winging it because there's only 20 user reviews.
It's not even about. It's just funny to me sometimes where it's like we saw. I think you tweeted about the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 scores. He was like, "Remember what happened last year when that damn Dragon's Dogma got an 88?" And then he was like,
"No, because there's so many people. Listen, it's so many people, and I was one of them at first. That's why I got on there and I asked the question. I said, "What the fuck is this game?" Because people talk about it, I don't know. So then I seen so many people when it came out like, "Yo, this shit got a 90. I gotta go buy it right now." And I'm saying, yo, y'all need to understand what y'all playing for. Y'all all rush to go get this game.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Remember Dragon's Dogma 2.
That's a fair point.
That's all I'm saying. Fair point. Listen, I rushed out. I pre-ordered Black Myth Wukong. Everybody says the fucking best thing since sliced bread. What happened? I traded it back in and got my damn.
So if I ask Grok about it, it'll probably say that you weren't good enough at the game.
And they can't say that. They can't say that because I got clips. That's the thing. You can't listen. You can't say nothing about me. I got the clips. I got the footage.
By the way, that is one of the rare moments of me and Gutta lining up. Is I also tried Black Myth Wukong, and I traded that in at one. I was like halfway into chapter 3, and I was like, I'm done. I am done with this boss rush game.
That sounds like a skill issue.
And that's exactly what they said. On a video of me killing a boss. A video of me killing a boss, they telling me, oh, it's a skill issue. Bitch, what are you talking about?
Every single tweet he was talking about.
It's definitely not sliced bread. It was fun. It was okay. I'll give it that.
There were some design things I didn't care for. And
See,
it just wasn't
that's the
clicking
thing.
with
If
me,
if people say, "Oh, no, it's a cool game. It's got some. I like the combat. It's cool, whatever." But people were sitting up here saying, "Yo, this up here with Elden Ring, one of the best games of the generation. This is, oh my god, the greatest game on console, PS5 exclusive. Fuck Xbox, they can't play this greatness." And I'm like, "Come on, man. It is not that."
Yeah, it was.
I will use it. I will use it to bash Xbox.
Yeah, I bet you will.
Hey, it's an unintentional console exclusive, so I think it's fair. Speaking of which, next topic, by the way, we were going to talk about Forza on PS5 and Xbox, the no red line.
Oh my god.
Yeah. That's what's funny to me. Like, I keep seeing these weird like replies from people. So we had the Forza Horizon 5, right? Which I mean, Phil said no red lines. So what the fuck do you think that means? But then like what was the other one that just got announced? Age of Empires and Age of Mythology just got announced as well. And someone in the replies was like, "Wow, I'm shocked. I didn't see that coming." And I'm like, "What do you mean you didn't see that coming? Yeah. Like, no red lines. What do you think that means?"
Oh, I'm assuming I've heard Master Chief. Theoretically, Master Chief Collection has been leaked as a title for Switch 2.
Yeah, out here smoking.
That's a black and mild too. I already know.
No, it's a Newport 100.
Oh, Newport 100. Damn.
The funny thing is, like, I joke Xbox stuff, but I will play. Like, if a game is good, I will play a game. Right? Like, I enjoyed my time with Indiana Jones. I think it'd be good for that game when it's on PS5. The ones that are weird to me are like, and I saw somebody I know on Twitter was arguing. Like, some guy posted like, "Oh, I don't need this game on PlayStation because I already got the GOAT," and he posted like a 1,500 hours of Gran Turismo, and everybody's like, "Okay. Did you just leave it on? Because you never post gameplay. You never, you have never once posted anything of you playing this game. But you put 1,500 hours in?
Yo, they was cooking guap about that shit earlier. You see that shit?
No, I don't. Maybe not.
He had 100 hours in Ninja Gaiden 2.
And
like no trophies. I was like, damn.
Like, how do you have 100 hours with no trophies?
The man said that the Hellblade Xbox guys did the same thing. He about to do the same thing with Ninja Gaiden.
Oh my god, bro. That's
that
hilarious.
Photo mode.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I forgot the photo mode comment. Oh my gosh. Like,
that was the thing where I got like subtweeted by Puss Assy.
Oh yeah, Paul Sassy.
Yeah, saying that we must suck at the game. That's why we had 15 hours in it. It's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, fuck off.
I just wish Xbox would be more strategic about what games they're gonna put, because like I feel like if they would have announced South of Midnight, I think that would be a game that would do well on PlayStation 5. I don't think.
Is it still exclusive? Because so many things have been announced already.
They haven't made no comment on it. I mean, everybody assumes it'll be here at some point this year, but they haven't said nothing about it. But
okay, no word. Got it.
But Forza 5, you think Forza Horizon is gonna really sell? I don't think people really gonna play that on PlayStation.
Well, no, genuinely, I think Forza. See, the thing is, the people who play Forza aren't typically console fanboys. Like, typically, it's car people. Like they're like. So Gran Turismo is popular among car gamers, and Forza, like, this actually I think will be good. Like, I think this is great for both. Like, I think Forza and Gran Turismo going head to head on the same consoles is good. I think it'll drive both to be better. Like,
I mean, at this point, it's obvious that Xbox can't have exclusives. Like, they're not going to build a console platform anymore. So, you know, they're all these going, like all these.
He wants his money back.
Yeah, all these games are going. You know, the console platform. I think the hardware platform is going to continue to exist because they're going to have to build something for their cloud servers to run games on and whatnot.
And for the people that got libraries already.
I think future Xbox consoles are going to be a lot more like PCs though, just with the OS running on them, and they're not always gonna compete for, like, you know, power. Like, they might just put out something just to have.
Honestly, I could see them going like the Google. What was that Google one that was just a streaming device?
Stadia.
Yeah.
Stadia. Like, honestly, like, if they're not going to make a hardware platform, which I think if you're not going to have exclusives, it's tough to justify.
My only thing is going forward is my library, what I own currently on Xbox.
I think, and that's the solution they need. 800
games, and being able to stream them is not what I want. Like,
no.
I need to be able to play my games natively if I want to. Now, if that means that they then become playable and downloadable on the PC app on Xbox, and then they don't have the console anymore, fine. As long as I have
They
my
need to do that
purchases.
at least. That is the bare minimum if they're not
Right.
going to do like a true hardware platform.
Right. So I mean, like that's my thing because it's just like honestly, if I could have my desktop computer running an Xbox like UI, I would, and I would just use my laptop for browsing the internet and shit, or paying bills and doing computer work, quote unquote, whatever that I don't really do. I would just have it like that. Like if I could have my PC right here, where I turn on my controller and my PC boots and it opens up like a fucking Xbox, I would just do that. I would just have that installed, and it could load Steam OS. And you'd still have to like, tweak your games and stuff. Like that's what I think is going to go away. Because if they're talking about putting a Steam app on an Xbox, I think you're going to be Xbox console gamers are going to lose that where you just had a game made for your console and you put it in and it works. In theory, I know we have games that fuck up on console too, but
no, I think you're absolutely right about that though. Like, it's kind of like the idea of a Steam home console is essentially that. It's just a computer you plug into a TV.
Because then they can make a console, sell it for a profit, because it doesn't matter at that point. I mean, I guess it does matter to an extent, but they can make a console and they don't have to subsidize it anymore. They can just sell it at cost, at above cost or whatever. And then, the 10 million people that buy that, they don't have to worry about a third-party library for those people because it'll just be a PC. Like, it'll just be, they can just buy their games on Steam.
What you're talking about is kind of similar to what Amazon does with tablets, right? Like, so like tablet-wise, Apple's iPad is high dollar value, high quality.
Right.
Amazon's approach with the Fire tablets has always been cheaper to buy because they just want to have access to sell you digital content.
And that's why they run like dog shit.
We'll see.
All of them run like dog
see.
shit.
Like I don't know. Maybe
that's why I think Xbox could go more like a Stadia, where like we will sell you a device to stream games, but then not have like a true Xbox anymore.
I just think that runs into a lot of problems with your current base that owns lots of games already. Yeah.
I agree.
That's what I worry about.
That's why I think the solution would be PC access to libraries would probably be their long term.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to keep pumping out hardware so people can play Xbox 360 games they own digitally.
Right. Yeah, and that's the issue. That's where I see like, all the other marketing talk, console is core to our blah blah. No, what the fuck it isn't. Shut up. Like, stop fucking lying. Like, okay, if console was the core, blah blah blah, you wouldn't be charging them the fucking most in your subscriptions. You wouldn't be launching games on fucking Steam before they come to console. Like it wouldn't take longer to get Xbox updates for your games than it does to get Steam and other platforms to push updates through. Like, don't give me that crap. Like, they're full of shit. Like, no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it's every move that Microsoft's made in the last 2 years has said very loudly, fuck the console. We don't give a shit about the console at all. Like, we don't care about it whatsoever. Like,
yeah, the marketing. Here is all the different ways you can play Xbox games have a worse experience than actually playing on an Xbox.
And at the end of the ad, there's an actual Xbox. Like, you can also do it on this thing that we, haven't really, sold much of. So
it's just funny because literally every single way they highlight, like, you can do it on your TV, you can do it on your phone. That is the worst way to play these games.
And that's what pisses me off too. Is it's like, most people that are like I don't know how much money you make off of a secondary owner. Like, PlayStation doesn't make a lot of money off of me. So I don't buy a lot of I buy their games. That's it. Like, I'm not buying, all the other shit that people buy. But I mean, Nintendo went from selling 14 million consoles to almost beating the PS2. Like, I get what Phil Spencer was talking about with losing the generation where people built a digital library, but I mean, dude, you could still
almost beating the PS3, right?
No, the Switch is about to beat the PS2.
Switch. I'm sorry, I misheard. Yeah, I got you.
I'm saying the Wii U was like 14 million, and now they've sold.
My
Nintendo
brain swapped it. Yeah. Like I still thought you were talking Microsoft. Yeah.
Yeah, like Nintendo has like dozens of Switch games that have sold more than the console before it, Like I mean, like it's crazy. So I mean, like I get what he was saying about like PlayStation and Xbox consumers are similar in what they're looking for, right? Nintendo obviously not. So yeah, it'd be harder to turn around the Xbox One gen and steal some market share back, but like you didn't even try. Like you continued all the mistakes from the last gen. With I liked the games, but for the media, the quality wasn't there and the frequency wasn't there of releases. And then when you finally got IP and games and exclusives, you start porting them to other platforms. So I mean, like you never even bothered to give it a try, and I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, and that is the Microsoft in them, right? Like, so Xbox probably made those deals expecting to make these games exclusive and suddenly have a library that rivals anybody and release schedule that rivals anybody. And Daddy Microsoft is like, no, I think we need to put these on everybody's consoles and make more money. And Xbox is
and I mean, like,
none of them.
And I mean, like for me, my day-to-day, year-to-year gaming experience, like, yeah, like people say, like, why do you need an Xbox? It's like, well, I'm not going to pay $70 for fucking Avowed on a PlayStation 5. Like, why would I do that? I just play it on my Xbox or my subscription. I might upgrade it to the premium edition. So, I mean, like for me personally, it's like, whatever. Like, I'm going to play it cheaper on PC or I'm going to play it cheaper on my Xbox. Like, I'm not going to, like, that's for y'all that are already on PlayStation 5 that just want to buy and play your games there. That's fine. But as far as like building market share, like, yeah, nobody needs an Xbox that doesn't already have one, that doesn't already have a library. They can just stay on their PlayStation 5 and wait for the games to come. I believe day and date will be a thing before too long once Microsoft builds up their studios enough to handle another platform.
Let me tell you what's going to be day and date. Blade. It's over. Day one.
So.
Day one. 100%.
Who's making that?
Arcane Lion.
Oh.
Day one.
I mean, Doom is day one. Ninja Gaiden 4 is going to be day one.
Well, those were studios like
I know there's studios that have more experience with it, sort of a thing. But I mean, like it's all like that. That to me is the floodgates right there. Like,
right.
I understand Forza may have shocked people for some reason, but when you have an Xbox showcase where 3 of the 4 games you're showcasing are releasing day one on PlayStation.
I mean, listen, you had Xbox content creators making whole songs called Halo, Gears, and Forza. So now that Forza is gone, it's like, what they going like? What? That's it right there. That's it.
And that's the thing where it's just like, I'm excited for those games. Like, I'm really excited for those games.
Yeah, they're good games. They look amazing.
But at this point, a Microsoft Direct or an Xbox Direct it's not any real different than a Ubisoft Connect or a not
a Ubisoft Connect. That's fucked up.
I just mean
that's fucked up.
No, I know. I don't mean like the quality of the games. I'm just talking about like you're just watching a publisher show you what they have coming out. You're just looking at
a Capcom Direct, a Sega Direct,
Capcom, whatever.
Yeah, not Ubisoft, bro.
I was talking about a major publisher. Like, I'm just saying, like. I'm just saying, like, these are third-party games. Like, that's it. That's all there is to it. So
honestly, it's why I think South of Midnight will probably come to PlayStation. They may not have announced it, but I don't.
Man, shout out to them though for not doing day one, man. I don't care what nobody says. Shout out to them.
We don't. Well, I guess they would have announced it if it was going to be day one.
I can't wait to play that day one on my Xbox.
I tell you what, like, if they get rid of the crazy achievements from the originals, I wouldn't mind getting a platinum trophy for Gears of War on my PlayStation. But if they keep the like genocide achievements, nope, not doing it.
It is funny. All these, I saw a bunch of guys tweeting about how they're gonna get these platinums for Gears of War that the Xbox guys don't even have or whatever. And I'm like, bro, the Gears of War, the Gears, like that shit is ridiculous. Like seriously, 4.0 and 5.0 is some of the dumbest shit.
What's
ever.
The first one? Like 55,000 kills.
I've been playing Halo MCC for 10 fucking years, and I still need like 12 achievements. There's 700 fucking achievements in that game, and a ton of them are for beating the game under 3 hours. Yeah, under 3 hours. And like I could do it eventually, but I don't want to. It's fucking dumb.
That doesn't sound like fun.
It's not a fun achievement. So like hey, any PlayStation dude that wants to get that platinum and act like it's like, hey, you know what? It's very impressive platinum. I hope you enjoyed that time.
That's why I'm hoping if they do a Gears collection, that they have those.
Like doing all 50 levels of Spartan Ops on Legendary, doing every Halo game in LASO with all skulls on under, doing all of them under 3 hours. Nah, I'm good. Like let's Look, I'll see y'all on the multiplayer maps. How about that? Like, we'll do that. We'll play the multi and we'll see. But I'm not doing that shit. Like, I'll log in on PlayStation and unlock all them damn trophies because it'll be like 600 instant trophies on my profile, like it was on Steam.
Oh my god!
But yeah, it's gonna happen, man. Before the end of the year, there's gonna be more. Xbox is gonna have more published games on PlayStation than PlayStation this year.
I mean, that's what happens when you like.
Yeah.
This is one thing that irritates me about the discourse, because I had like an Xbox fanboy get my mentions because I mentioned it was a discussion about Game Pass, and all I did was mention was that Game Pass, to be honest, was a bit of a desperation move by Microsoft, which I don't mind. Like that, it's still a good service, but it's kind of like the Switch was a desperation move by Nintendo. Like Wii U was so bad they needed a Hail Mary, and that Hail Mary hit. So Game Pass, which has been the biggest win for Microsoft, was a desperation move. This guy got so mad at me, and he was like, "Oh, well, you just want to turn negative news for Xbox." I was like, your not 80% of your positive news is because you guys spent $100 billion on Activision and Bethesda. Don't get me wrong. Like, congratulations, these are now Microsoft games. But Doom: The Dark Ages is not a Microsoft win in that they didn't. Oh. It's not some IP they grew with a developer that they nurtured. They bought id Software.
I mean, every publisher, publisher's pretty much done that though. So PlayStation's got to feel like that too.
Not on that scale. Come on.
Well, not on the scale, but I mean,
Activision Blizzard as a purchase, and Bethesda. There are no acquisitions on the scale of either Bethesda or Activision Blizzard by any other company, and that's fine. Microsoft has the weight to throw that around. Activision Blizzard was like 60% of Sony's value. Like, that purchase was like most of Sony's actual value as a company. So when you're a $13 trillion company, you can do that stuff, and that's fine. But like, it's a different way. It's the Yankees then bragging. They do. You know what I mean?
The big Twitter accounts do have a tendency to do that shit though. Like, right after they announced the date for the Xbox Direct was when Nate the Hate came out of his cave to be like, "All these games are going to PlayStation." Like, bro, fuck off. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing right now? Come on, man. Like, can we just watch the show first before?
Leakers. It's kind of like when Switch 2 got announced. I saw a bunch of articles like, "This was a disappointing reveal." I was like, they only revealed it because freaking people kept leaking everything. So now Nintendo's like, "Okay, we have to admit this is the thing." Like, I don't know what you want. Like, they confirmed they're going to show more in April. Congratulations. Anyway, so leakers are kind of I get why consumers like them, but I think they're bad overall for the culture.
It's just funny. It's just funny to me. It happens all the time. But yeah, I don't know. Everything's things are changing quickly. So, and I think a lot of us just have nostalgia.
I'm curious what the next gen will look like. Like we're at least halfway, if not a little more than halfway through the generation right now.
It starts this year. Switch 2. That's their next gen console.
Yeah, but I mean, like, what does the PS6 look like? What is the world of video games look like when the PS6 comes out? I think it'll be interesting.
I think this generation has felt like an iteration on the last gen. Like, the hardware's better, but the games are basically the same. Like, it's just sequels of games that we got last gen. There's been a few standouts, and there always are.
And some of that is Sony themselves really shooting themselves in the foot with the live service stuff. Again, nothing is good from these companies pursuing live service. Sony has had good games on their platform, but clearly not on the level of the PS4.
Right. And then, so I think next generation is just going to be more of the same. It's just going to be, I don't think PS6 is going to feel that different. Although, I mean, PlayStation has this tendency, they did it with the PS5, right? Where people really miss the dynamic themes and stuff from the PS4. And it's like, that was one of the things in 2020 that I thought was funny was everyone was like, "Oh, Series X doesn't feel like a next gen console because they didn't even change the UI." And it's like, okay, just changing the UI doesn't make something feel next gen. Like, nothing about the PS5's UI is next gen compared to PS4. It's fucking the same. It just looks different. It's got a couple different features. Like, come on, what are we doing?
I don't think y'all. I don't think y'all remember how fucking laggy that motherfucking UI on that PS4.
It was, but the PS5's got the PS5's running its OS on an SSD.
when I got my PS4 and put in NBA 2K14 for the first time, and I started taking some screenshots, I didn't care. I was like, they look like real people.
Yeah, that NBA 2K14, I had that on launch day too.
Oh, that was
the first game I played
in. So long to install. Like, it took forever
God.
to install, but once I got in, I was like, taking screenshots of freaking.
Right.
Oh gosh, that would have been LeBron and Wade and Seabosh at the end.
I gotta find a video. I still got the video on my Facebook. Took the game winner, the first game I played on it.
The PS4 has so many cool like profile pictures and stuff too. It reminds me of the 360 gen. Like I've got like a Wolverine profile picture on 360, and on PS4 I had like fucking Captain Kirk or something. And I was like, how did they even get that on there?
Hey, since the Xbox 360, I've been rocking that Banana Man. Shout out to Banana Man, man. That's been my profile picture forever. With the tuxedo, that's my guy.
You know, weirdly, Sony doesn't have a potato, so I'm left in the lurch.
But on Xbox you can just upload your own now. You can just do whatever you want.
You can with Sony too, but it doesn't reveal for the unless you make your profile completely public.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
There's like your public facing avatar and then like your close friends avatar.
Look, you know what I miss? I've been playing a lot of 360 games this year on my Series X, and it's got the old 360 UI inside the game. You press both start and select, and it opens up. That shit runs so smooth on the new consoles. Like they need to go back to that. They need to go back to that UI. It was so good. They need to bring back the gamer zone, man. I was in the underground. It was dope, bro. Like
they need to let us pick old startups on there too. That's what they should do. Xbox should jump out ahead of it and be like, "Fuck it, here's all the old startup sounds for free, no limited time shit." Because that original Xbox opening.
Yeah, they peaked with the first one. The
one
fire and stuff. Yep.
God, that's gotta be a top 3 greatest intro all time.
Their best drip, their best aesthetic was the first Xbox stuff.
I agree.
Everything since has been. I think it's almost like a line downward because 360 was their second best.
Yeah.
Then it's the one or the series, depending on what you like. And I would say both of those, they're like refrigerators that sit nice on my shelf. Yeah. But the 360, like, it's funny. We make fun of the PS5, but like the white curve look was kind of nice.
The 360S, the fucking glossy ass touchscreen buttons.
Yeah, I had
that shit was so. I thought I had the future. I had the future of gaming in my living room. That shit
hated
was so sleek.
What was it? The Duke, the original Xbox controller. Yeah. But it had style.
I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. I'm about to share my screen again. Look at this. Look at this original. Look at this shit.
Oh, you had the 2 Batman kissing avatar.
Yeah, look at that. Isn't that cool as fuck? I love it.
Damn.
I love it. Even got my old World of Warcraft clan in the motto. I never changed it. I wonder what I tried going to it. That shit it doesn't work no more.
Heavy metal. Oh my god.
Yeah. Dark Perfection, man. That was great.
I think they should go back to the first I think they should modernize the first Xbox layout to make it fit as a UI today. I mean, obviously they're not gonna do it back because they make money from all the ads on that dashboard, but that'd be a nice option to have, bro. Some different UIs.
I mean, I'm pretty partial biased towards the current Xbox UI. I think it works well, and it
lets me organize my Series S again. I haven't seen the Xbox UI in like 16 months, so I've forgotten what it is.
I like the groupings that you can make, and I like that you can just hit the Xbox button and literally almost everything is available to you just from that screen. You don't have to like I think on PS5 I can look at like some trophies of the game I'm playing. I don't know. I'd have to go back. I haven't played my PS5 in a while.
I just don't really like the games layout on the Xbox. Like I gotta go to games and apps to look at my full library. Whereas on PS5, it's just all your games is right there on the screen.
Right. Well, the ones you've recently played, right?
No, even stuff from like last year, like because it goes up to like 12 or something like that. So
yeah. I think my Xbox shows like 8 of the most recent games I've launched or something like that on the home screen.
If you just scroll all the way to the right on PlayStation 2, bam, you can see every game installed right there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I will say some of it is the store integration on the Series X.
Yeah, because it's more about ads. A
lot more ads, a lot more integration of like you should go to the store and buy.
Yeah, I'm talking about more like the functional aspect of it. Like the actual like home screen kind of sucks. Like you've got at least 2 ads right there underneath your games, and then they force you to have Game Pass as the next thing down. You can't.
Yeah.
Everything else, you can add your groups and stuff under that. You can add apps under that. You can add stuff like that under that. But you can't remove Game Pass from the home screen.
That's
And it's
because
like-
Game Pass is a stronger brand than Xbox right now.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's true. It's true.
Oh, that hurts. I don't
Hey.
like. I'm a little bit of a hater, but even that hurts me.
And that was the thing. Like they had that big UI update like 2 years ago, where everyone was like hyping it up because they made the icons smaller. You could see more of the background. You really can't. You really don't see
No.
that much more of your background than you did before. Like,
I will say the lack of customization in all three companies, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. Like, there's just not enough customization.
No,
Honestly,
Nintendo gets away with being the worst.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That
They don't
Switch
even try.
UI is
It's
trash.
it's just functional though. Like it just works. It doesn't have
I would
anything
take-
special. It doesn't have anything special. It's just
It's sorry,
your
man.
games are there. You have a
I
place to
actually
go look at
prefer
all
that
of
to
them.
the Xbox UI, just because
Yeah,
it is
it's
more
simple.
functional. No ads.
Yeah.
Nasty ass gray
It's simple.
background. It's just
I remember-
can't.
I remember a whole bunch of Xbox fanboys getting mad at I don't know if it was me or someone else, but we were talking about ads on the home screen, the full screen ads that they do sometimes, where you boot your Xbox up and you have a fucking full page.
Oh
you
my
have to click
gosh!
through.
Yeah, I forgot about
Um,
that. I want to say it
and-
happened around Starfield.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, the Switch does the same thing. I was like, no, the fuck it doesn't. Like they're like, yeah, it does. When you turn your Switch on, when you have to hit the button 3 times, it shows ads on the screen. I was like, yeah, because you have to unlock the Switch. Like that's not the same thing. You're already pressing
No.
the button 3 times to unlock the Switch. Like that's completely different. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
That's integrating an ad to a screen that's already functional for the way it is for a reason. Whereas
Yeah.
Microsoft's like, okay, you have now woken up your Xbox. Here's an additional full page ad that interrupts anything. Don't care what you're doing. We need to talk to you about Starfield. Like,
Right. And like, yeah, you can just click once and it goes away. Like whatever. It's like fine, but it's still stupid. Like it's still dumb to even have. Like, come on.
It's the little stuff that turns into the big stuff, bro. Like that screen to me, I never made a big deal out of it. It's not that deep, but if you get off from a hard day at work and you want to hurry up and get to the game and you see a fucking Starfield splash screen that you got to skip,
Do you remember
that'd be my 13th reason, bro.
Do you remember that controversy? Was it Street Fighter or something that had like ads in the background of the ring of the fights or something, and they changed the ads would change throughout the game, and people it was something like
Googling.
that.
Street
it
Fighter
was
5.
something- Yeah,
it was Street Fighter 5, yeah.
yeah, and I was just like, that's less obtrusive than a fucking whole screen coming up when you turn your console
Agreed.
on. Okay, and
Agreed.
people lost their shit over that.
If it's like if you have Times Square as a background for a fighting stage and you sell ad space on the billboards like it's a Times Square billboard, to me that's just like that's a smart way to integrate that type of stuff.
right.
Versus like, oh, we're gonna have you literally fight where your background is just an ad for an Xbox game. Like
Right.
that would be different.
Yo, a lot of games had ads back in the day. Yo, I was playing I don't remember what superhero game I was playing recently on my PC, but it was some old ass game. And it had Dorito ads in the fucking back and Mountain Dew billboards and shit. I'm like, that.
But that type of stuff doesn't bother me if it's integrated into the world. Like like Spider-Man 2, I think did stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like not
No.
PS5 Spider-Man, the
See,
way in the back.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 is the worst example of all, where we got that trash Adidas suit.
And it put Miles in the haircut that everybody loved.
Oh my god, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea.
I actually like the suit itself. I just don't like his hair sticking.
That's
out
the
top.
only part that I don't like about the suit.
And the mask doesn't have webbing on it.
Yeah.
Like put webbing on it, cover it, do the whole mask, and like I'm just saying, like
I gotta remind myself. Oh yeah, no, this thing is ugly.
He said, I gotta remind myself.
Well, and he just outright has Adidas shoes.
Right. It's
Like-
literally just for the promotion. Like, and like the story thing didn't even make any sense because he was like, it's time for a Miles Morales original. The one you've been wearing was a Miles
Right,
Morales original.
exactly.
You made that suit. What the fuck are you talking about? like what are we doing here?
I think if they had changed some of the coloring, might have helped. Like
I always use the one that's it's one that is like black with red and white instead of the base color, because the blue and red and black is just weird. But when you switch it to the black colorway, it looks a lot better.
Okay.
Dude, his
But yeah,
black
the hair.
is amazing.
The hair is like, okay, if you talk to Miles Morales, you could probably figure out he's black anyway. But this is like, I need everybody to know that my secret identity is a black man. Like,
that's crazy, Jolson. That's
Oh
crazy
my
thing to say.
god.
That's crazy.
am I wrong? Like if Miles Morales drops and saves you.
I'm not. I'm not
Listen,
answering this
I
line
ain't
of
gonna
questioning.
lie. I wouldn't think.
I'm-
I don't know if I think he's black. Not with his goofy ass voice. At least Najee. At least Najee.
Okay, that's
Right.
it. Depends on the Miles.
Yeah. Najee from the game, I wouldn't know what color he was, but Shameik from the movies, yes, he sounds definitively black.
You know what? I probably just have Shameik in my brain. Like that's
Yeah.
who I hear when I think of Miles at this
Hey.
point. Which is funny because that dude, I almost feel bad for that dude because he is
crashing
he
out
was
right
like,
now.
yeah, like he
Did you see
crushing
Josh
on
Allen?
his coworkers and stuff
Did you see
in like an awkward way.
You saw that clip I shared of Josh Allen and Haley? Bro, she is in love. I said I want
Josh
to be.
Allen is having a good day.
He's having-
He's having a good.
That's what you just liked my tweet. I was like, man, I want to be Josh Allen.
I remember I posted that Najee should be the new Miles in the movie, and I went viral, bro. Nothing but people cooking me, calling me stupid, calling me a retard, saying Najee sucks. I'm like, bro, y'all really think he sucks, or y'all just don't like the game for some reason, bro? Because
I do wonder what they're gonna do because it's gonna be an awkward. I guess they don't have to be in the same room together doing their lines, but
Nope.
you know, it's got to be weird the way he kind of
You know what's
crashed out
crazy?
online
When did Across the Spider-Verse come out? Was it 2023 as well?
Yeah,
2 years ago.
yeah.
And we have no idea when the third one's coming.
Nope.
We were supposed to have it 6 months later,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, no, that was
or a
bullshit.
year later.
I mean, I don't make movies. I mean, I work in the industry, but like, when they announced that shit right after the movie came out, I was like, "There's no way that shit's coming out in a year."
I would have
Like,
thought the
there's
shit
no
was
fucking
already
way.
done if they were saying it's coming out in
Yeah.
6 months. That's what I thought.
Like,
Maybe it's already recorded. I don't know.
I mean, because this is like back when like, you know, like the Lord of the Rings trilogy was like that. They filmed all three back to back.
Yeah,
and
that's
then-
what I was thinking. It was done, but I
and
guess
then
not.
They released them like year, right? But
Mhm.
I think, I mean, maybe they've done some of the voice work and stuff already, and it's just the animation that hasn't been finished. But I remember animators and stuff were online like, shit, we hadn't even started on that shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
like that, hell no. Like, what? This is the first I'm hearing of this. Like, so yeah, that don't make no sense. So
Well, and apparently, I think it was Across the Spider-Verse where they had like crunch issues with the animators, and they had to like be like, "Don't worry, we're not going to do this again to them."
Yeah.
Wink. Oh, how the Heat looking?
We losing by 4, of course. Of course,
Are you-
this terrorist comes into the game and we immediately start losing, bro. Get him off our team.
I looked, and we were up like 77 to 71.
Look. As soon as I say something, transition 3, brick. I want him off my team. I want him
gosh.
off my ball club, bro.
damn.
Yeah. I was hoping we would trade, and well, maybe now that we got Davion Mitchell, Rozier can just be permanently benched.
Hopefully, because this ain't it, bro. This is not it.
They're not gonna though. Spo's been playing. I thought Spo might have been playing him a lot to try and boost his trade value, but nothing happened.
Cole Spoelstra is a terrorist, bro. Pat Riley a terrorist too.
Hey.
All of them are terrorists, bro. I'm sorry. I can't do it no more, man. They got away with winning them LeBron ass rings for so many years, bro.
Hey, 2006 happened.
Spo wasn't on. Well, Pat Riley was coaching. I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
Spo was an assistant. I'm just saying, like, there's a reason, and I'm not gonna knock Spo given 2020 and 2023.
Yeah.
Like
But-
that doesn't happen with another coach.
Yeah, but Spo, you gotta think about everybody we had, all the talent we had. We had some guys that could really contribute, and he just refuses to play guys. He literally didn't even play Khalil Ware until halfway through the season.
That doesn't bother me because a lot of times I think it's better if a rookie earns his playing time, and Ware has earned it. Like he has fought to get that playing time, and he's earned that trust.
That's
Like,
the problem
I'd
with Coach
rather that
Spoelstra.
happen. I'd rather that happen than us start him from the get-go and him be arrogant and feel like everything should be handed to him.
And they traded for Terry Rozier of all players, bro. Why did
The
they
moment they did that, that is the worst trade.
Dumb, yo.
That is the
Just
worst
dumb.
trade since we traded for Ricky Davis and Mark Blunt.
Yeah, that's horrible. That was horrible.
Ugh. Anyway, sorry, Sonny.
Yeah, I mean,
Just talking about basketball all of a sudden.
bro, it's disgusting.
We're Heat fans. Gotta. Yeah. I don't have enough Heat. I live in Ohio. I have no Heat fans nearby.
I was gonna say. Like,
How you an Ohio Heat fan?
Well, so
like Cleveland, the best team in the NBA?
No, screw Cleveland. I started watching the NBA at the beginning of the 2004-2005 season when Shaq got traded to the Heat. I was in college in North Carolina at the time.
Oh, damn.
So I got invited to do a fantasy basketball league, even though I wasn't an NBA fan at the time. So I drafted, my first 3 picks were Shaq, Steve Nash, and Amari Stoudemire. I won that league. Like, I have never dominated a fantasy league in my life the level I dominated.
Back in 04, that was like the all-star team.
Uh-huh. And I got, yeah. So just through the season, tracking players and stuff, I just fell in love with basketball, and I was a Heat fan because I love Shaq. And so I'm like, when you pick a team, you stick with your team. And I've been lucky enough that has paid off.
That's true.
Between 3 rings and 4 other finals appearances, I'm not going to complain as a Heat fan because here's the thing. I lived in Ohio when LeBron left. And I remember how people in Ohio treated me when I wore Heat gear. So screw Cleveland.
Damn,
I hope the Browns are bad forever. I hope the Cavs never win again.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Cleveland fans, they have made an enemy. Y'all deserve Deshaun Watson.
Oh my God, not Deshaun.
Okay, that's too far. No one deserves Deshaun. That ownership, the Browns ownership is bad. They need to go. Anyway. So that's how I'm a Heat fan. I'm a Heat fan, I'm a Commanders fan, and I'm technically a Blue Jackets fan. So I picked up hockey a little bit when I came here.
All right, before we get out of here, Super Bowl predictions for this weekend.
It's the Chiefs, bro. Go Chiefs.
The Chiefs win, and therefore everybody loses.
I'm a Cowboys fan, bro. I'm not going for the fucking Eagles.
I want the Eagles to win because it's the least onerous of the 2 bad choices.
Dude. I would rather watch the Chiefs win the next 6 Super Bowls than the Eagles get one.
I'll be the odd man out, man. Listen,
no,
I want the Eagles, man.
I want the Eagles to win, partially because it will make every Cowboys fan in existence feel pain.
Yeah. I mean, they still got to win like 4 more to catch up, but
Dude,
he's still talking about them old-ass rings.
Yeah, it don't matter. Ring's a ring. Look,
the Eagles and the Commanders.
We're not doing this. Bill Belichick's on the red carpet with a 20-year-old girlfriend with 6 of his rings on his fingers.
He got some rings recently, though. I
saw somebody joke like, did he let her wear the O2 ring for the year she was born?
Oh my God, that's nasty.
But I loved when the Eagles and the Commanders won their games to go to the NFC Championship because it was the worst case scenario for the Cowboys fans.
Wasn't the last Patriots Super Bowl in 2019 though? Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, right before Tom Brady went.
It's been a while for them too.
They at least run something within the last 25 years, right?
Yeah. When was the last Cowboys ring?
I literally don't know. So it was 30 years ago.
It's 30 years now. It was 1995.
It was more recent than the most recent Commanders one, right?
I don't know.
Or maybe the Commanders won more recently.
I don't think so. I don't think they've won one. I don't think they've won one since the 90s either.
No, I think the last Redskins ring was the 80s, right?
No, they won.
No,
in
it was the 90s.
They beat the Bills. Yeah, the NFC East. The Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row, and I think they lost to the Redskins, the Giants, and the Cowboys twice. Four in a row.
They lost all 4.
All 4. They went to 4 Super Bowls.
Okay, 92 was the last time. Okay, so 92 was the last time the Washington won. Dallas then won the next 2, 93 and 94.
Okay.
And the Giants was 2009, I think, was their last one. 2010.
2012.
12. That's right. It's 12. Yeah, they won 2007 and then 2012.
Damn. So the fucking Cowboys ain't won a ring since I was 3 years old, yo.
That's what I'm saying. Like, my daughter is 8. My daughter is the age that I was. No, she's older than I was when the Cowboys won their last Super Bowl. I was 6.
Damn.
When the Cowboys won their last Super Bowl. They ain't even been to an NFC Championship game since then.
Yeah, and at least they now have the longest drought for NFC title, getting to the NFC Championship in the NFC East. because the Commanders going this year. The Commanders had it until this year.
And Cowboys got talent every year, bro. I don't understand how they just cannot never put it together, bro. I don't know.
Because Jerry Jones is the worst GM.
Yeah, well, and they don't even like this year. They didn't have the talent. Like,
I mean, you still had Dak on the roster though.
Yeah, I mean, Dak.
He was hurt.
So yeah, Dak's one of the I would say is a top 5 QB in the NFL, stat wise.
Top 10, you have an argument. Top 5, I don't think.
So then you've got CeeDee Lamb. He's one of the best receivers in the NFL. But that's it, really. Like, on the defensive side, I mean, Michael Parsons is great, but he can't do it all. I mean, and
they have no run game.
They had a
little bit of one near the end of the season.
Yeah, they let Dan Quinn go last year, and we saw how that turned out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so turned out well for us.
Right, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's ridiculous. So like they did that, and then they didn't make any moves in free agency. The draft picks were
after saying they were going all in. Jerry Jones is like, I'm going all in this year,
and then he said it again this year. And then, so I mean, the problem is, and then they're hiring a guy. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Like I don't have any expectations, but you know, Jerry's never going to hire a coach like Jimmy Johnson again because that coach isn't going to let him run the team. He's going to want to run the team.
And Jerry wants credit. He wants to win in a way that gives him credit.
He gets credit though. Like that's what's.
I know, but you know what I'm saying. It's not. He doesn't want owner credit. He doesn't want owner credit. He wants this is my team credit.
Yeah, he built the team.
Did they hire a coach?
I made the decision. Yeah,
they hired the offensive
coordinator. Schottenheimer, I think. Brian Schottenheimer.
I thought he was going to hire. I thought he was going to hire Prime, man. I thought he was going to get Prime, man.
I mean, you know, we'll see. Let's see what the guy does. But I mean, like, I just don't think that the front office is going to make the right decisions in the offseason to set him up for success. And, you know, I think Jerry gets involved in the game planning and stuff too. Like, I think he gets involved in all aspects of it. And it just, you know, like, and then you just have like a guy that, I mean, there's no other GM or owner in the league that's surrounded by reporters after every game. We get beat 60-3 and they're like fucking surrounding Jerry to find out what he's got to say after the game. And it's like, what the fuck is this clown show, man? Like, I would not be a fan of this team if I didn't grow up a fan of this team.
And just throwing this out there, Dan Snyder sells the team. Washington's in the NFC title game. Like, and we have it now. Now it looks like we have a franchise quarterback for the first time since I've paid attention.
I could go the gamer fanboy route though. My team makes more money than every other team in the league, even if they don't win.
That's true. That's very true. It's the highest. I think it's the most valuable sports franchise in America, isn't it?
People love to brag about other corporations making money, so I guess I'll fall back on that.
I'm down here with all the Cowboys fans.
Yeah, Yankees are worth $7.55 million. Lakers are worth about $8 million. Cowboys are worth $10 million.
Oh, that Laker number about to shoot up, boy. That Laker number about to go up right now. Yeah, you heard me?
Yeah. It's
that
ridiculous.
Trade. There's a reason Nico Harrison has to have a security detail now. What the?
Yeah, bro.
But that's the thing about fandoms too, is what's frustrating, right? It's like we have this culture of you have to support your team. You have to. No, fuck that. I ain't buying nothing Cowboys related until they win a Super Bowl, and that's not bandwagoning. That's not bandwagoning. I'm not rooting for any other teams. I'm not buying other merch. All right. Like, they need to earn my money, not the other way around. Like, that's not how that works. Like
the Dallas Mavericks. I understand if somebody is like, now that they traded Luka, I am not a Dallas Mavericks fan as long as this ownership is in place. I get it.
I mean, like, you have to see how it plays out. I mean, like, I think one of the big controversies of Jimmy Johnson's early thing was that he traded Herschel Walker. You know, but he built a championship team off that trade, among other things. So, I mean, I don't know what the Mavericks got. I don't really watch basketball. My dad was born in San Antonio, so he's a Spurs fan anyway. But like, I don't know what they got for him.
Dallas trash. Well, not trash. It's funny. They traded for a currently top 10 player in the NBA, and still every analyst agreed that it was a trash trade. That's how good Luka is.
Yeah, but I think
you think he just wanted out of there? You think Luka just wanted out?
He didn't want out of there.
His reaction seemed too authentic, and every report has said that he never asked out. He didn't tell them he wouldn't sign. And so there's what's called a supermax contract in the NBA. They added it as a way for hometown teams to have an advantage in retaining young players, right? Because they didn't want like LeBron leaving after 7 years again, type of a thing. So they can offer way more money if you draft someone and he hits certain markers, which Luka hit. It cost Luka $116 million off his next contract. He was up for like 5 years, $350 million. Now the max he can sign is 5 years, 234, something like that.
And he just brought brought a mansion last week.
Like a $15 million mansion in Dallas. By trading him, they cost him like a third of his contract.
It's crazy.
As a basketball fan, I don't think the trade was bad, but it's just going to take some getting used to, bro. People have to understand that, yeah, you love it. Luka's a generational talent and all that on one side of the ball, and I think they would have been better served keeping him for the future. Obviously, they should have kept him. But if you're looking at the trade now, I don't think it was a bad trade. I actually feel like they got better as a team right now in the moment because I think Luka is that bad of a defender that he's sabotaged.
There's an argument to that, but the fall off they're going to see on the offensive end with Kyrie as their only creator, because Kyrie has shown in the playoffs, if he's your primary ball handler and you don't have a good enough secondary, that he can be stopped in the playoffs. This happened in Brooklyn. This happened in Boston. And so, yes, defensively they will be. But the thing is, they were already a top 10 defense. I don't know if they're going to jump to number one defensively. And Anthony Davis, who wants to play the 4, he can dominate certain matchups. I
was about to say.
So I think
y'all underestimating what AD do. AD is 27 and 10. It's not going to be far off from what you had with Luka. I'm telling you, it's not. It's offensively.
Except creation, he doesn't elevate other players like Luka. So Derek Lively is a lob threat that Luka made just a terrifying around the rim weapon. Well, that's not a thing anymore. Like, Kyrie might hit him on occasion, but you always had to be afraid of Luka getting into the paint and dishing off to Lively for an easy 2. Little things like that add up. If you had traded him for Jason Tatum, I wouldn't be as rough about this, though. Like, it's not just like, yes, you could make an argument they might be slightly better this year, but when you have Kyrie, who's like 33,
that's what I'm saying.
You traded for a 31-year-old who's Anthony Davis is probably not going to age great. Mm-hmm. You traded for age and kind of an age where he's already injury prone. If you had traded for like Tatum, someone to build around and keep getting better with, it's one thing. But basically, the Mavs window is 2 to 3 years max with Anthony Davis. With Luka, you could argue at least he might get better on that end, but if nothing else, you have an offense unto yourself, and they were a top 10 defense because they had shorted up around his defensive shortcomings. Mm-hmm. So if you had traded for Tatum, you could build something for 10 years, and you still have a top 10 player. With AD, it's like, congrats, you have a window of 2 to 3 years with teams that are still demonstratively better than the Mavs for the next 2 to 3 years.
But on the flip side, I don't think the Lakers have a window. I don't think they have any window to be competitive.
It depends on what other moves they make, and it depends on how Mark Williams. They traded for Mark Williams. It depends on how he looks.
I like Mark Williams.
They should have gotten a more defensive-oriented center, and they gave up a lot to get him. Like, Mark Williams can score. Like, he'll be that lob threat like Derek Lively was. Yeah. Like, he can do more offensively. It's that defensive side that they need a rim protector.
Who the fuck is that?
You know.
That's John.
Is it a bad sign? Did the date not go well?
No, we had to end early.
Over already.
Okay.
We had to end early because she got to go to work in the morning.
Okay, that's fine. But you know what I'm saying? Like, man has a date, shows up before 10. That worries me for you.
All right. So before
No. We didn't want to listen. So we're hanging out for Valentine's Day, so we got plans Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So it's kind of plus she got to be at work at 7. So it's like we couldn't do the go-karting because it was too late. Honestly, like they only had opens at 10 or 11 o'clock, and we're not gonna be able to do that.
I'm looking out for you. I just want to make sure things are good.
I know what you're trying to do, but I'm good. Don't worry, we're good.
All right, before we log off, how did it go?
Oh yeah, it was good. It was good. Like we went to dinner. We went to dinner. Then we actually we went to Target because we talked about like building like a Lego set real quick because she wanted to do that. So we looked at like some of these Lego figurines and shit that they'll build. We might make one of the Lion King ones, like the big Simba one. So we talked about like, hey, like you want to come over to my crib to do it? And I was like, yeah, let's do that.
You naughty boy.
And
You naughty boy.
Hey, relax. Relax. Yo, why is my shit not turning on? What the fuck?
Hey, we're rooting for you though.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's dope.
Thank you. Somebody got to get some of the gamers got to get action. So,
Damn.
Like it's
No
too many.
comment.
It's just you and me left, Jolson.
No.
I got
Hey, don't drag Joseph down with you,
I
man.
don't got that problem.
That's kind of crazy.
What you doing Friday night, Jolson? You
Look,
up for some Halo, bro?
Gunna's dating like 4 women at once, so
Hey, stop snitching. Hey, stop ratting. Stop telling.
He looking around like,
Hey, stop telling, man. Stop telling, man.
understand. I have no inside information. I just like to make shit up.
He said no. What did I miss?
Save.
What did I miss?
Good
before the
save.
pod, though?
We talked about WB being trash, canceling everything. We talked about Forza on Xbox, and we talked about Resistance on PlayStation getting shot down, and that was pretty much it for the night.
That's pretty much it right there. WB
We spent a lot of time trashing WB, yeah.
Yeah, well, I echo everything y'all say. To say about that, they are garbage.
Oh man, that Wonder Woman game. There's like
Yeah,
a
bro, that
40% chance of getting canceled.
was a mood killer. That was a mood killer.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel bad too because at the end of the year,
right now.
at the end of the year, it was like, what news do you want most of all? Oh, I want to hear something about Wonder Woman. Kind of a monkey paw situation where, okay, we got news about Wonder Woman.
Not the news you want to hear, though. It's like the Brewski meme. I got good news and bad news. Good news is Wonder Woman's still in the development. Bad news is you're not seeing it anytime soon.
We lost 86 to 102. What the hell?
I turned the game off, bro. I turned it off, bro.
Oh, what game is this? The basketball game? Please do tell.
Miami, Brooklyn.
Oh, PlayStation Network is still down?
Yes, it is.
Well, damn.
As long as my Spider-Man 2 boot up in a second, I'm fine.
Uh-huh.
Well, damn. I wanted to play some Street Fighter.
You can play arcade. You better play arcade mode.
Better jump on your Xbox.
You better play World Tour.
I don't have. I deleted World Tour. I don't play that shit no more.
Go ahead and download it on your Xbox.
Yeah.
What's the Xbox, bro? Oh, I got an Xbox. It's called my PlayStation 5.
Oh
yeah. Oh, Xbox Live is currently up right now.
Damn.
For all.
See, that's how you know they don't care about fucking Xbox, bro. Why PlayStation always getting downs and shit, bro?
People actually use the PlayStation Network.
It's been
it's easy to keep a network up when there's only like 10 million people on it.
It's been 129 days since the last PSN outage.
Keep the network up when it's like
so it doesn't happen that often.
I mean, there's like, 10 times as many people on PlayStation at night than an Xbox? Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, they selling us on Friday night, bro. They selling right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Where's my remote so I can turn the game off? I know Detroit was beating Philadelphia.
Philadelphia suck. They should be ashamed of themselves, and they should blow it up.
I love it. Expose that fraud Embiid.
Listen.
He ain't even barely played this year.
I hope this is a preview for Sunday, bro. Did y'all give y'all Super Bowl picture?
Yeah, but that's the last thing we did. But you go ahead and give yours, though. What you think?
I got these 3-peating because I hate everything Philadelphia.
I want Philly to win just because it would make the Cowboys fans hurt.
Yeah, I want Philly to win, but realistically, bro, them boys in Kansas, bro, they just unstoppable, bro. Yeah. Especially with the refs, the ref protection they got. It's over with. They're not losing, bro. It's not happening.
Yeah, that's how I wanted to go, so. All right, well, y'all can wrap it up. I just can't say what's up.
Yeah, we out, man. Episode 12.
I'm glad the day went well.
We got 105 live viewers. Thank everybody for coming through, man.
All depressive sounding.
Thank everybody for coming through, man. I'm about to run some Spider-Man 2. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully the network ain't that fucked up where I can't even boot up a game. If that happens, that's a different type of discussion.
Damn.
But,
hope it's your home console.
Yeah, it is.
Is it
It
home
is.
console?
It
Okay,
is.
you should be good then. You should be all right then. You should be good.
It is. If not, shit, I hop on the PC, get back on X-Men Legends. I ain't sweating it.
There you go.
Well, I
Gentlemen,
guess it's fun to play all my single player games since I can't play Marvel Rivals or anything else.
yeah, I'm gonna go play a little Alan Wake 2.
Yeah, I'm
Got
out
his favorite game.
No, he about to
We're
fall
gonna
asleep playing Alan Wake 2.
We're about to continue Fly Night tonight, I think. That game's been pretty good.
What you about to play, RM?
See, he's smoking still, probably.
Yeah, bro, sleep. All right, man. Thank everybody for coming out. Hey, we'll
guys.
see y'all.
I am smoking though.
Oh my god. All right, we'll see y'all next
I
week.
don't know. I might try Stalker
See you later.
on if I downloaded it.
Niggas playing Tekken, but they playing on PC or
I'm out, bro.